What's up guys, Peter here back with another video. Today we have the top 5 most overpowered badges that broke NBA 2K17. Now you guys wanted a lot more commentaries, I saw your comments, so I thought this was a more creative way to do a commentary. And also, some of you might not realize how overpowered some of these badges are, maybe because you haven't seen anybody play with them or you just haven't had that archetype before, so this might help you build some of your players. But anyway, let's get right into it. Make sure you guys smash that like button down below, see if we can hit 500 likes. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe for more daily content, and let's get right into it. So it kind of makes sense that 2K had to make a bunch of these badges overpowered, because the way the archetype system works, you kind of have like one strength that you can do very well, sometimes to the point of where it's like really unrealistic, and then you can do everything else kind of like okay, right, or just kind of well, right? And then to go with those, you obviously have to have the badges that are upgradable, which will go with your strength, and those can be extremely overpowered. So before we get to the top 5, we have some honorable mentions that didn't quite make it. We have the Grand Badge because I don't know, everybody kind of has the Grand Badge, so they all can do their own thing, and it's not that overpowered anymore. It was overpowered when they first put it in Park and Pro-Am, but I feel like it's kind of like when you get your Grand Badge, it's still like extremely overpowered. But I feel like since everybody kind of has it, then that it doesn't make it as overpowered, right? Because when you get your Grand Badge, like, you already know like what you're supposed to do at that point. So that's why I put it in honorable mentions. Then we also have Drop Stepper. A lot of people don't know this because there's like barely any post scores with Hall of Fame Drop Stepper, but that's extremely overpowered. If you just spam drop steps, you get your defender in this animation every time that you can't do anything about, and it's super annoying. We have Relentless Finisher / Posterizer. So this is kind of a combo. The reason why I say this is because if you have a slasher or athletic finisher, especially in the Pro-Am, as soon as they get to the basket, there's pretty much nothing you can do if they have these on Hall of Fame. It used to be a little bit more overpowered, but that's also why I put it up there. It's just something you can't do anything about. And let's get right into the top 5. So coming at number 5 on our top 5 most overpowered badges, we have Game Point. Now the reason why I say Game Point is so overpowered is because basically anybody can get it. It's extremely easy to get as long as you play a decent amount of games and just win like some of them. You'll get Game Point. It's usually the first badge you get on your My Player, and the reason why it's also like really overpowered is because it ultimately decides the game. Nothing else matters at that point. If you lose to a patch made shot because the other person had Game Point, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Like, for example, I know a lot of you have been in this situation. You're up 19-18, the other team has the ball, you're guarding the 3-point line pretty well, and they shoot a contested 3 in your face, and then they just somehow make it just because they have Game Point. So that's why I say Game Point's really overpowered. And also, like, a lot of the bad people that get it, they also take bad shots. So they could take a lot of bad shots, but sometimes they just end up making it because they have Game Point. So that's coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Ankle Breaker. Yes, Ankle Breaker was one of those badges that was kind of like a hidden gem. And the reason why I say this is because, as we all know, Patch 1 patched so many badges, and Ankle Breaker was one of the badges they patched. If you have Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker, you still do break ankles pretty frequently, especially if you like try to. But if you played the game before Patch 1, before they patched Limitless Range, before they patched all this stuff, and there is only a couple people with Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker because it was just so hard to get. It's extremely lengthy, it's really boring. So I mean, very few people had it in Patch 1. But oh my gosh, if you had this badge in Patch 1, there is no way you were gonna lose. I was literally playing with somebody, and he was guarding this point forward, Patch 1. He had Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker. This man got his ankles broken 7 times, and he wasn't even trying that much. He was just dribbling like a regular point forward, got his ankles broken 7 times, and that's just ridiculous. And that's like a usual thing. Like, I remember, I don't know how many of you guys played with or against somebody with Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker in Patch 1, but that literally broke the game. They had to patch it, and that's why I put it at number 4. Now, number 3, this has to do with only a specific archetype because it's very uncommon, and it's Pickpocket. So only lockdown defenders, point guard through small forward, get this badge on Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure. But it's so overpowered. I know Hank made a video about this, and it's getting a little bit more overpowered because not a lot of people had lockdown defenders at the beginning of the game. But basically what Pickpocket does, and you can be a playmaker, point forward, have 90 whatever ball control. If you're guarding like a lockdown defender that's decently tall, has max wingspan, and has Hall of Fame Pickpocket, if they just, and this is also why it's overpowered. Remember at the beginning of the year when Red City Boy was like, oh yo, 2K fixed it, you can't spam X or you can't spam square anymore, and it's just like, oh okay, so it actually takes skill to steal the ball. Oh, you have to swipe with stick, or he didn't say you have to. He was like, you can still swipe with X or square, but he's saying like, oh, you actually have to know how to use the stick, or it takes more, like, I don't know, it just takes more skill to steal the ball. But that turned out being a scam. 2K just completely lied to us, and everybody just still spams X, everybody spams square, whatever console you're on. That's why I'm saying that. But the reason why Pickpocket is really overpowered is because, like I said, if you have the right build and you have it on Hall of Fame, you can rip anybody up as long as you're spamming. You'll just spam, and you'll end up either getting a reach and foul some of the time, but most of the time you'll just steal the ball, and that literally takes no skill. You just have to spam a button and you get the ball back, and that's just totally overpowered, especially with like twos now that you have to really score every possession, and if you get the other team to not score, then you're pretty much set as long as you keep scoring. So I don't know, in my opinion, Pickpocket's really overpowered. Now, not a lot of people or not a lot of lockdown defenders have this badge on Hall of Fame, so I don't know how many of you guys have seen somebody with this, but it's so overpowered, it's so unrealistic, and it's really annoying playing against someone. Like, I'm always like, oh, I'm a playmaker. How are you, like, at least rip up like maybe a sharpshooter that has like you know what I mean? But no, I'm a playmaker and I can get ripped up by somebody as long as they have that badge and they're spamming a button. So that comes in at number 3. Now, coming in at number 2, this badge had to be immediately patched as soon as 2K came out. You guys probably guessed, it's limitless range. So as soon as the game came out, they came out with patch 1, which patched some of the badges, but what they were really talking about was this like shooting fix or whatever that basically just patched limitless range, so sharpshooters weren't so overpowered. This badge was so overpowered to the point to where as long as you had a sharpshooter, had your attributes, you didn't really have to have any skill, and as long as you kind of knew your shot, you could just pull up from half court every single time and consistently make it. Now, this badge today, after patch 7, you can still make half court shots some of the time, but it's not like a shot you want to take. It's not like the shot you want for your offense, right? If you have to take it, you'll take it. But now, I mean, like before that, it was just, you had to guard people when they're at the other 3-point line. It was just so overpowered to the point to where you're pulling pretty much like the other 3-point line or like the other half of the circle behind half court, to where it was just like you would make that. It was a consistent shot. You had to immediately patch it. You had people drop in like 95 in Pro-Am. I think Agent Zero did that. And especially if you combine that with a screen, if you just got a screen, if they were double teaming, you got a screen, it would just be so much, like there's nothing you could do about it. And 2K patched it because 1, it was just unrealistic and it was just overpowered, but 2, they didn't want everybody making a sharpshooter because that wouldn't make the game fun if it was just everybody pulling half court shots. And second of all, they want people to make different archetypes. They want their archetypes to be quote unquote balanced. So some people make a sharpshooter, some people make a playmaker, etc. Right? Because if everybody could just pull from half court, then I'm pretty sure everybody would make a sharpshooter. So limitless range comes in at number 2. It was just a huge mistake by 2K's part to just like Hall of Fame badges are supposed to be pretty overpowered. I mean, because your player can pretty much only do one thing, so they have to give you a good advantage. But if it's getting to that point, I mean, that's where 2K really did mess up. And I'm glad they patched it. I mean, if you still like have limitless range now, it's not like it's not effective. Like, it'll still work. You can still pull from half court, but it's not going to be like a consistent shot that you're looking for your offense. Now, coming in at number 1, we have sort of a package because one makes the other overpowered. We have Brick Wall and Bruiser. Now, why is this so overpowered? You can see if you looked at 2K last year and you look at 2K this year, there is a huge difference into how people play. They set a lot more screens. 2K is just all about screens now, and it's just, I mean, some of the time it's just way too much. Like, if you go to high rollers, you're gonna see a speed boosting sharpshooter and 2 glass cleaners with Hall of Fame Brick Wall because it's so overpowered. There's nothing you can do, and it's really overpowered because I have Pick Dodger, right? I mean, I only have it on bronze, but I had that badge. It basically, like, sometimes it works, but if the other person has Hall of Fame Brick Wall, then you're screwed. They're gonna give you into they're gonna get you into these unrealistic animations that are just rigged. You could literally be running the other way, but somehow you'll just run into the screen and take like 2 seconds to get around it, and whoever's going around the screen can get an open 3. It's just a very overpowered badge, and it's still overpowered. I mean, people still set a shit ton of screens, and I don't think it's ever going to be patched a lot. Now, the reason why I say Bruiser combined is because if you have Bruiser on Hall of Fame, which you can get if you're a glass cleaner, in addition to Brick Wall, you're going to lose all your fatigue when you run into the screen. So not only are you taking like a couple seconds to get around the screen if you're going to like fall, but also you're losing all your fatigue, so you can't like speed up to like catch your man, right? And that just makes it super overpowered. And it's really up to you if you want to say it broke the game, but it changed the game a lot. It changed how people played, and yeah, that's why I put it at number 1. Now, I was thinking of putting Hall of Fame, mid-range, and deep-range Deadeye into at least like the honorable mentions, but I realized that the contested shots thing has kind of been in 2K for a long time. I mean, last year we didn't have Hall of Fame anything, and we didn't have Hall of Fame deep range and mid range Deadeye. We just had gold Deadeye, and even with that, and even with people not even having that last year, everybody's been making contested shots. So the contested shots thing, I don't think it's because of that badge specifically. I just think it's because of 2K. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I miss a badge? Should I have considered something else? Just let me know what you guys think, because this is just my experience of playing. This is my perspective. A lot of people might have different archetypes and think differently, but again, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.